Good morning. It is May the 11th, 2 days after the great freeze of 2020. And I'm out here going to tramp around my garden and show everybody how it looks on May the 11th. Then later on, maybe in June, I'll show you another video, and maybe in July. I decided to go somewhat of a different route this year, and I'm planting in containers and pots. I have 3 pepper plants, 1, 2, 3, and there's a few more around elsewhere. Tomato plants, they'll be ready to put in the ground in a couple of weeks. I'm going to wait a little bit longer for them. I have some annual flowers, carnations in here, nigella, tithonia, dahlia, some spinach coming up, radishes in a small container, looking good, carrots. I'll be reaching down in there, grabbing a carrot for supper. 2 pots of turnips. Who out there likes turnips? In these hanging containers, I have a kale grown from seed. And a look of the garden. A tramp through the garden. The rhododendron, of course, has already bloomed. I'll show you a picture of it when it was in bloom. It hovers over Grandma's garden. And later on, we'll get some flowers in there. And I'll show you how it looks. The pond area. The pond area has changed somewhat this year. I built the stone up. For a couple of years, all that stone wasn't in there. And I put different water plants in there. But now I have a spring. You may call it a spring. The bird bath got a base earlier this year. And you can see the hosta's coming up shortly. That'll surround the pond area. The pink tulips did very well in the rock garden. And this will change throughout the year or two. Where the birds eat and eat and eat and eat. If you're wondering what the stovepipe is for, that keeps the squirrels from getting to the bird feed. And it works. I saw a squirrel trying to get up there the other day and he just couldn't do it. In this section at one time I called this the circle of love, or the circle of peace. This year, I have a tub of potatoes. I'll be reaching down there later on this year, grabbing a couple of potatoes for dinner. And on top of it, I just want you to notice that what I have on there is purple dead nettle. And later on, I'll explain to you about that. I have broccoli. Actually, I have 5 broccoli that I raised from seed, and they're doing very well. At least the frost didn't get them yet. An Italian parsley that I bought the other day and planted. Our tea for the year. More radishes, more turnips, onions coming up. I have a couple of spinach underneath here. And later on, this is where I'll put some tomato plants. And I believe one pepper will go in there too. And here is a really, really newcomer for me. A container of strawberries. Hopefully later on I can show you some strawberries coming up through there. Be able to reach down in there and grab a couple of strawberries. That'll be really great. And here is the entrance into the outer garden. I had honeysuckle growing up over there, but I cut it down last year. I had to thin it out. So you can see it's growing back up. I see how it goes this year. I have to keep it thinned out just a little bit more. But it's coming back up, so it should work. Now we'll go into the outer garden. My table and chair when I want to sit and watch the cars go by and wave at the trucks. And there is my butterfly garden. Peony bush is coming up. Turtle head for the fall. Bee balm in the back. Beard's tongue. It's always nice. There's a phlox. I'll show you a picture of at least 1 year, how much this grows in. Cover's root, that'll get really big by July. That'll fill this area all in there. There's a hyssops, great for making tea. And here was daffodils, and as you can see, tulips. And this is an addition. Last year, this is where I was putting my peppers. But this year, I kind of put the tulips and daffodils in their own little section. And later on, I will be putting some carnations and zinnia in here. And here is something new that I added this year for tomatoes. And I'll say something about that later on, maybe in another video. Tell you about what's going on in there. So, this area has all changed throughout the years. I used to do a lot of gardening in ground through here. It used to be pretty much filled up with a lot of stuff. Then I got away from it. So that's pretty much what's happening in the garden in May. This area will be all filled up. There's a new bleeding heart. I put a new bleeding heart in there to replace the old one. A yarrow is different this year. A sage, 2 sedums, iris. There's some more phlox there. A columbine. There's a northern CEO in the back. Very, very nice plant. I like that. And there's a salvia down there. A little section for the roses. They'll be coming in nice too. They'll be really nice later on. I'll show you. Peony, 3 peonies. Isn't that something? My daughter got me 3 peonies, and I've been working on them now for a couple of years, and they're really coming up and they're really looking nice there. Hopefully right in this section will be 3 sunflower rising up above over the fence. Hosta, more hosta in here. So that's it. And I will show you another video then in June. Bye for now.